I want to open a different window for that. We'll just see. But it'll automatically go to my SmartPlans, and you'll see like the SmartPlans that are in your library. See if this open. Like open a weird window. Lydia?
I don't.
You see how
I've never seen it try and do that before.
be interesting. Let me see if it lets me check something in here. Well, this is always fun, guys. This is just technology, right? It doesn't, I'm just gonna close this out, see what happens when we open a browser. It's so bad right now.
Like boogie.
I don't think someone else is like a computer. Weird. Let me see. Like what? Okay.
Your button pressed down on your laptop. Got alters.
It's just being really funky.
Yeah, the laptop is. So, I mean, I could do it on, can I do it on that? I don't think that's it.
No, I think it's always easier.
Can I use, let me, like the computer you're on as my?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just do that. No, it's not. Sorry, guys, hold tight. It was working before everybody came in here. Just gonna say.
That's what always.
Yeah, right? Okay, let me just unplug here. And then, so I won't be in front of you, but I'm gonna go to that computer back here so that I can actually do the stuff on command.
Good.
Glad you're in here. Okay.
So just
Okay.
Type over here.
Yeah. Okay.
just shit.
Okay.
You do it. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Awesome. Okay.
Pretty good.
Okay, great. So thank you, Lydia. Okay, so we are gonna be, and this mouse works over here. Okay, so we're gonna go back to our SmartPlans applet over here. And we'll just make sure everything's working. Yay. Okay, so it automatically goes to my SmartPlans. So these are ones that I've already downloaded. I love your point, Jesse, of like, hey, when you download something, you should probably also open it up then to make it your own, right? So if you just kind of go in, some of them you can't change and some you can change. So if you like, you know, we'll just do the my home anniversary, right? I've already downloaded this. We will go in and I'll show you like how to download them, but before you would actually ever put somebody on a smart plan, you want to go over to this icon that says edit. We're gonna click on that and we're gonna go into the smart plan. So in this smart plan that somebody else created and I took it from the library, the task is one step, send a gift to the contact, and then it has like the contact person's name. So when you go to your task list for that day, it'll say send a gift to Candee for her home deal, whatever. And then you're gonna wait 6 days. And then another task is gonna happen and it's gonna prompt you. So both these tasks just go to you. Like no client's gonna see these, right? These are gonna come up in your daily task list of something that you need to do. So 6 days later, your task list is gonna say, make a call. So you're gonna call this person, probably on their actual home anniversary. And 7 days prior, you already sent them a gift. Be like, or a card, or whatever you're doing. Be like, hey, congratulations, 5 years ago, you closed on your home. How are things going? So it's a touch point, right? So this one just has tasks that are gonna go directly to you. So this is great. Nothing to do here. I'm fine with this. If I wanted to change this, let's say I didn't want to make a call. I wanted to also send an email, right? So let's say I also want to send an email to this one. Do I have anybody on this one? Oh, this one is just a KW plan. So we'll go do a different one where we can then add steps. So there's a couple of plans that Keller Williams puts out and you can't change anything on it. So home anniversary, birthday, the monthly neighborhood nurtures, you can't change anything about those plans, but you can download them. So I would say, yeah, download them, check them out. But yeah, we're gonna keep this plan just as it is. So the other one I was talking about that you can't change, we can go into it here, are the neighborhood nurtures. Do you guys all have neighborhood nurtures in there? So we'll go grab those next year from the library. But see this one, I can't change anything on here because this actually pulls information from the MLS. You can't change anything about this plan, but it's gonna send a bi-weekly email with a neighborhood update. And then 14 days later, it's gonna repeat. And so that's the bi-weekly one. There's also a monthly one that will send people just the monthly update, but you can't change those, okay? So here, let me find one that we can just change. We'll go in here. So this is one that's published by the Zimmer group. I absolutely love the Zimmer smart plans for keeping in touch with your sphere. Carissa, their OP, their ops manager, is crazy ridiculous with her tags. So you do have to be like really up to date on all your tags to download these plans or change them. But they're really great at keeping up with all their people. So my post sold. So these are all people who have sold with them. So this is the first plan that they put them on. And it's like, we send them a text saying like, hey, because they use a Twilio account, this is the number we're gonna text you from. If you see this number come through, it's us. Please respond. So that's kind of like what this one says. If we click on this here, you can see the text details. So it comes up on the side here. It says, we're so grateful and appreciative of your trust in Zold. So you could go in here and change all of these words, right? So you can go in here, click this edit button. My company's not called Zold. So I want to put like your trust in me, right? Or whatever you want to say. If you have a company name or something like that, you could put that in there. So you can change everything about the text in here, and then you just want to save your changes. Okay, so now we've changed this text. So now let's look at this next text. And this says, hey, first name, welcome to Zold, the inner circle. So you could go in here again, click this edit button at the top and change anything about this text in here. Okay, so Jesse, I'm kind of jumping ahead, but very good point. When you download these smart plans, absolutely go in and make them your own. And it's really easy to do. On that note too, let's say you also want to add like make a call in here. So I'm gonna just make a call. Let's add a day. Then we are going to make a call. So I'm gonna send them a text, I'm gonna send them a text, and then I'm gonna make a call. You can go in and add different steps to these too. And then just when you're done, here on your description, the task name, you have to say like call. And then these here, the add merge tags are where you can click like the first name. So call first name, add that step. Now that one's in there. So you just want to go through and like change all of these and make them your own. So then I'm going to save this plan. I made some changes. Working. Okay, so it's saved. We're going to go back here. I jumped way ahead into some plans that I have. We're just going to go to the library. So some plans that I think every agent should go to the library and grab are your quarterly call plan. So we're going to do this in real time if you don't have these already. So see this quarterly call plan? We're going to add them today. And then if we have time, you can go ahead and change them and make them your own, but let's add them while we're here today. So we're going to go ahead and add this plan. We're going to click this button here. When you do that, you have to rename it. So I think I already have this plan in my library, so I'm going to rename it CK so that it'll save as a different one. Okay, so still saying you already have this plan. Let me download it again. Okay, well, it won't let me download this one again because I already have it. So, but if you don't have it yet, let's download that one, okay? Other one you want to have are those nurtures. So in this text box, does everybody have that one done? I don't want to move ahead. Does everyone have that one added? Okay. Next one we're going to go do are our neighborhood nurtures. So I'm just going to type in neighborhood, and then right away, this biweekly and this monthly one comes up. You can see that these are the Keller Williams author ones. Those are the two that we want because it pulls from the MLS. So we want to make sure that we're sending that information to our clients. So again, we're going to just add these smart plans. Now, when we click on this, you're going to rename it. You can't change anything about this smart plan. So just go ahead, rename it however you want, and go ahead and add it. Hit the download button. And then if you have the birthdays of your clients, this is another Keller Williams one that will sync then if you put your contact's birthday information on their contact card. It automatically will prompt you on that date or shortly there around that date here because it does have multiple touches to get in touch with that client on that. So we're going to go ahead and add that one. And then we're also going to add home anniversary. And this is another Keller Williams one. So as you're working with buyers and sellers after a close, you want to add them to the home anniversary smart plan for the date that they close on, just so you have that reminder. It's not something you have to think about then, right? Like that's the beauty of smart plans is that you're going to go ahead and tag that. You're going to put them on that smart plan after their close date. And then you don't have to think about getting in touch with them again. Like you're already setting yourself up for success to connect with them here down the line. So you're going to add that smart plan. Now, does anybody in here have a specific author that they really like?
I like the golden letter one.
Okay, let's go grab it.
Let's see. Hard to find what is.
So in this search bar, we can search by the name of the smart plan. We can also search by the author. So there are certain people, like if I'm watching a mega agent interview, or I go to mega camp, right? Mega agent camp, and I see somebody there. I usually make a note of their last name or their first and last name, and then I'll go in and look them up by author name and see if they maybe have published any of their smart plans that I can just take and make my own, right? So, and a lot of people do that. I'm like blown away at how many people share their stuff in here. It's really great. So do you have a golden letter one that you like, Chris? Or should we just go into one?
Well, I have one downloaded. It says my golden letter, email, and follow.
Okay, so it must have more than one. So you can see some of these just have one step. So it's one step, right? Some of these have more than one step. And then also on the side here, you can see, like, let's look at this Nakia Dollar. She has 3,000 people have downloaded this. Okay, so that's pretty amazing. Then if you click on view steps, one of the steps is an email, then it's a text, then it's a call. And then the steps also include like the wait days. So those are in there. So that could be, one that we like, right? Here's another one. Is this the same? Email, text, call. And some of them will say on here, I wonder. Some of them, when you go in here, will say like, this is step 1. And then you also have to download step 2 and step 3 because the SmartPlans link together as it moves along. Let's just say we want this golden letter one. 3,000 people love it. So do we. So we're going to go ahead and grab it. So you can rename this whatever you want, but let's just download something as a group just to walk through it. Okay, so we've downloaded that one. Now let's just go back to my SmartPlan. And then see, I got the golden letter one right here. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to click edit. Okay, so now I'm in here. Let me click on the email because we want to read it, right? So the subject line of this email that's going to go out says a favor, ... Can you help? And then the email is like, hey, Candee, I'd like to ask a favor, as you may have heard, the real estate market is hot. Interest rates are low and there's a heavy buyer demand for homes. So now we might want to change that a little bit, right? Someone might get to be like, well, are interest rates low? I don't know. So you can go ahead and change this. Again, we just want to go to our little edit button up here to edit the wording. So this one still holds true though. The next paragraph says the challenge is that there are not enough homes listed for sale for all the buyers looking. In fact, we are working with a number of buyers that are struggling to find homes. So here's our favor. Who do you know who may be thinking of moving in the next 30 to 90 days? Could you introduce us? We may have a buyer ready to pay top dollar for their home. Feel free to email us with their name and phone number. We'll be sure to take great care of them. And if you don't know of anyone now, please keep your ears open. When you do hear someone looking to sell, please give us a call. It will help a number of families looking for their next home. So if you like this, you might want to change a little bit about that top paragraph, but let's say all in all, we like it. This here, I am circling this kw.app link. If you haven't downloaded your KW app, next month, I'm going to do a whole class on that. But that is pulled from your marketing profile. So if you have, so whether you download it or not, you have an app link out there. And so if you don't have anything done with your app link, you might want to just delete that for now until you have it uploaded, but know that you can put that in there, okay? So let's say we're good. We're good with this now. We've updated our changes. We're going to go on to the text. Excuse me, my goodness. Okay, so we're going to go to the text message. So it says, hey, again, if you don't have Twilio set up in your command, you get like 3,000 text messages per month or something like that with the dollar amount you have to put in there. In case you go over. But if you don't have Twilio set up, you could still leave this in there as a text message, but instead of saying send text and having it set up to your Twilio, you'll want it to set up as a task, okay? So this one, let's just add a day and create this task, thinking that like, oh, we don't have Twilio set up, right? So now we're gonna create this task. And in this task, we're gonna say copy text message, okay? So, and then we'll go and grab that text message and put that wording in there. So then when this task pops up for you, if you don't have Twilio set up, you can just copy this text message and then send it from your phone.
And like the notes in your phone.
You totally could do that too. Yep. So, but instead of, so you could just say, send text message. So your task that day is to send a text message. And then you would have to go in and delete this one, right? Because it wouldn't send it to them. So, so that's a workaround if you don't have Twilio set up, but you really like this SmartPlan. So you can still utilize it. Just it's a little more manual on your end where you'll have to actually go in and send them that text message instead of just having Twilio do it. But totally fine, right? So let's just say we're going to add that step. Oops. Okay. So then let's go look at the text message, because yes, we could just add this to our clipboard so that we have it as a saved draft. We could also at this point, still see it says send from Twilio, and mine's not connected, so this step wouldn't work. So I could just go in and copy this text and then come back to this tab.
What's the price point on Twilio and a lot of agents?
I think a lot of agents do use it just because it's so handy to have through command. And I don't know the price point offhand. I want to say it's like $5-ish. Depending on how many texts you use it for. Yep. Go here. I'm gonna edit this. And like I said, we can just go in here because let's say we don't have Twilio, but I don't want to have to like go find this text message. Now it's just gonna actually pop up in my task that day. That whole thing, this whole description is gonna come up in that tab. So I don't have to think about what I'm gonna text them. I can just go and copy this and it's done. So I'm gonna save this. Assuming we like that, or we can change that right now. So then we would go in here and we would just delete this tab if we're not going to use it anymore. And then on our 6th day, we're going to make a call, and I'm going to leave that. I'm going to make a call after I send them that email and send them that text. 2 days later, I'm going to give them a call and say, hey, see if they have that verbiage in here. Yeah. Hey, did you see my email or my text message? You know, I'm really struggling. I have a lot of buyers that are looking for homes. Who do you know who might be looking to sell their home, right? So now if we're like, oh, I love this SmartPlan, then we can go ahead and we can save it. And now this one is in our arsenal, right? So we have this one. We are ready to use it. We're gonna go back to our SmartPlan. So I am gonna show you just in the library how you can also sort through author. And so Jason's Bars is one. When I first started, I went and took a ton of his SmartPlans, just to see like what's out there. So there is the 36 touch. There used to be the 8x8 to connect. He also has like a listing hot, high frequency touch, looking for sellers, a hot buyer one. You can go in here and see this one has 16 touch points. Some of those might be delays. It lasts for 99 days. So that's a long time, right? He's touching this person for 3 months in the lead up to them maybe buying. You can kind of go in here and just look at different people's SmartPlan. This is a buyer nurture. This one's going to last for half a year because maybe they're not looking to buy now. Maybe they're looking in 6 months. Also has 14 steps. So you can kind of go into different people's SmartPlans and add them to yours. So he's one author I do really like. Let's go look at his 8x8. So his 8x8 is going to be one that repeats every 50 days, right? So he kind of creates different content that he's going to send out. But you can see on day 1, he's going to touch them. Day 8, he's going to add them to the monthly neighborhood nurture. 15, he's going to send a community connection. So something about maybe what's happening in the community. This is all stuff that you can already have prepared, right? If it's something that's always happening in the community that you could just be like, hey, did you know that, Caribou Coffee gives out coffee on Tuesdays for 5 cents? Whatever you know about the community, right? You could just always have set up in here. And then you can just say like, oh yeah, I do like this. I do want to touch my people in this way every 50 days. Then you can go ahead and add that SmartPlan. Okay. Are there any questions about like getting SmartPlans from the library or editing the SmartPlans or adding things to a SmartPlan? We doing okay? Okay. So now how do we add them now to our people, right? And how do we set up tags so that it's really easy to do that? One new thing, and I have not played around with it very much, but the command tech people just set up so that you can auto start a smart plan when you add a tag to somebody. I have not done this yet, but I think it sounds really cool, right? So you could, every time you add the buyer tag to somebody, it could immediately start a buyer smart plan that you have set up. Or every time you add a closed smart plan, a closed tag, it could start a specific smart plan for you. So it's like one step instead of 3 steps. So I haven't played around with that much, but I think it's pretty cool. Okay, but let's just say, so we have our smart plans. Now let's just go to our contacts. One thing I started to do, so Kelly's willing, when she was here, she was showing us like how you can add tags pretty easily. So if you go here to your name and then you sort by last name A through Z, I just wanted to show people, so I just added in here to start the tags, but how you can go ahead really easy and just add all of these. So let's just do, I just did A's, so let's just do a couple of here. And then, so I'm going to click them and I'm going to go up here to actions. And I'm going to add a tag for these people. Okay. So who has the DTD2? What is B linked with? E. Okay. So B and E. So I'm going to tag this person with a B and an E. Yes. Now wait for it. Okay, so now these people are tagged, right? So now when I'm looking at my DTD2, and I can just sort my people by tags. So if I go to filters and go to tags, and let's just say it's my AW week, right? So I only want to call these people. Okay, so that's how your DTD2 and tags are really easy to work, and so that you can keep in touch with people on that quarterly basis. But then let's say I want to add, I'm going to actually not use, I'm going to clear my tag here. I'm going to clear my tags just a sec. And because we're going to just play around with me here. So let's say we're in me, right? And I want to be added to a smart plan. So you can go up to the smart plan here. I'm in my monthly neighborhood. You can see for myself, I've added a ton of neighborhoods that I like to watch. So those are all on there. And I would definitely say do this for yourself, so that you can kind of play around with you. There's no harm in it. So it has my KW email here. I've added a bunch of neighborhoods on here so that my monthly neighborhood nurture will give me all these different neighborhoods. But now I want to add another smart plan. So I'm going to add myself to this golden letter smart plan that we just picked up that is awesome, right? So I can go in and I can select this smart plan. And it says, oh, I'm missing a phone number. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and add this plan anyway. And yep, I know that I can call this person. It's TCPA compliant, and I'm going to confirm that. Now I'm going to have that smart plan as well under here. Just refresh. So that's one way to add a smart plan for somebody. If you're doing it one by one, right? But let's say I know I want to add the golden letter to a ton of my contacts. So then we can go back to our smart plan applet. And we can find my task. Look. So I can also go here and do like a more bulk action thing. So I can go to my smart plans. I got the golden letter smart plan here. I can see right now I have one person on this smart plan. Should show me who. on here, just Candee, she's the only one on there right now. But I want to add a bunch more people. So I can click on this add contacts, and then I can go in and type in anybody's name, or I can just scroll down and click all these boxes, which I'm not actually going to do. Let's say I can click all these boxes, and then I can add them to the smart plan. Okay, so that's another really fast way to add them to a smart plan. If you wanted to just add a whole list of people, you can also in that adding action here, let's say, let me go back here. Let's say I want to add somebody with a specific tag. So I want to just add all my B and E people because they live all in the same neighborhood or something. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on that tag. Then all my B people come up. I can click on them and go ahead and add them. Super cool, right? What other questions do you guys have around the smart plan?
Who generates the email, right? So it just like sets it out for you.
Yes.
Does it have like times of day and stuff? Or does
You
it?
can set it up to start on a specific day when, here, that's a great question. So let's just say, let's go into the specific smart plan. We just say I'm going to add it to somebody.
They spend like $400 or more a month for drip campaign.
Right? They are awesome. So let's just go ahead and click me again that we're going to send it to me. I'm going to add to the smart plan. Oh, it's mad about that. Hold up. Let me see if I have. Do this one. I'll add me to the Zoom. Go ahead and click on me. I'm going to add to the smart plan, and that's okay. But then see this where it has the date. So I can decide that I don't want to start this smart plan. So I do this actually quite a bit where I have specific smart plans that I always want, like the emails or something are 7 days apart. And I always want somebody to get this email on a Monday or a Friday. So I'm going to look at the calendar and I'm going to say, you know what? I always want my people to start getting this one on, these I want to go out on Wednesday. So I'm going to go ahead and say, yep, I want this to start on a Wednesday because I know then it'll get it every 7 days. So that's great. I'm going to start it on this Wednesday. And then you can go ahead after we're TCPA compliant, of course, click confirm. So now this one will always go out. They always go out. Also, if there's some of them are time stamped with the actual like time of day, and command runs on central time. So if there is a time option, know that you're in central time when you're in command. If you were looking like, oh, but I have people that actually, my client is in California, so I want it to be on Pacific time instead, then you would have to adjust that. So some smart plans, you can also do the time, but most of them just have the date. So that's kind of cool too, if you're setting up and you're like, okay, I want this email to go out, and then I want 3 days to wait, and then I want this email to go out. And so in 1 week, I know that they're going to get 2 different emails, right? So you can kind of set that up. Or if you're like, oh, I'm going to set it up so they get my email on a Friday and a Monday. You can kind of decide how you want to organize your smart plans based on dates. But I do use that quite a bit. Just because then I know like my Mondays or my Tuesdays, most of the people responding to me just got this email. Right, so I kind of on that mode, so it's very helpful in that way. Yeah.
I just send it to myself and like coming up with end of
I saw that the other day. Have you called them about? We'll talk because I know maybe that alias thing.
Yeah, that never worked.
Okay, so we would have to call the help desk then. I just got the one from you the other day too, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
So yeah, so we would have to call the help desk specifically for that. Okay. But yeah, so that's kind of how you can change the date, and that is like after you go through all of like the adding the plan to the person. So this is like the last step before you send them the email or send them on the smart plan. Okay. Yeah, that's a great question.
Command have the ability to pull like your email signature in there or?
Yes. Yep, so, first step would be to, create your signature and designs, if you have one of those. So let me just see if I have. So here, we'll just really pick on this post sold one here. We'll go and edit. All text. So here, let me add an email where we would actually want our signature in here. Okay. So then right here where you can enter the content and that type of thing, if you are just typing in something like copy and pasting something, you can just put that in here. You like your email in there and then add a hyperlink, add a merge tag. Here is
I'll try it really quick.
email address. Oh, so they did change this because I used to be able to just like add a picture, you know, and that would be like my email signature. But here now it says to update your command email address, go to settings. So, and then we can do that. So let's just try that out. Just go there. Go to our settings. And so let me just roll down here and see if it's this one. Oh, command email. So provider. So let's just see what happens here if we manage this. Oh, that's interesting. So you can, you know, if you were in a different time zone, you can change your SmartPlans time and date right in there. Don't see, I might have to ask that question because they used to just be able to upload like a picture.
Under marketing. Well, but
Yeah, that's a really good question. Otherwise, in my other SmartPlans, I do have, you know, just it without my picture that I just put in there. So from command, it might not have my picture in my email. But I'll make a note of that and I'll figure out like how do we do that in our setting? I'm not sure.
next, I mean, well, legal footer.
Yep, and that is just, so the legal footer in there, you should have each office is independently owned and operated. Cause that is gonna go on like any marketing that you do. And that is for compliance purposes. So for compliance purposes, when you're in your marketing profile, you do want this footer in there, and then you also need these legal images, the house, the realtor thing, and then the MLS logo. Sorry. You know what? I just copy them from. I also do have them that I can email to you, but the images are on Google. If you just did fair housing, realtor, then those three come up as a grouping, and I just downloaded it. I bet when I did this, but I do also have it, so I can pull it off. Yeah, did you find it? Yeah, and then I just download it, and then you can put it right there. We also need to have our logo on here. It does not always show up in a circle. I don't know why it's like that in command, but that's how it looks when it's loaded. But on printed material and through online, it does not look like that. Everything from your KW app to your website to anything else that you do within Command, most of that information is pulled from this marketing profile. So definitely you want to update that. And then if it's not showing up right, it is because you don't have this toggled over. So do make sure that your toggle is over, so that it will pull information from this marketing profile. Chris, you didn't see where it says settings to upload our Gmail, did you? Or our KW email in here?
I remember not what step it was, but like I just had to go through them all and find it.
Here, let me see.
It was kind of
Let me see what Answers has to say for us. So answers.kw.com I use all the time. So, or here, let's do SmartPlan. We'll just see what it comes up with for us. Contacts. How do I add my KW email? Phone. I don't see it in here either. All right, well, I'll play around with that. I made a note, so I'll see what I can find out about adding like our picture to our SmartPlans, because we used to be able to like just add a photo, which is how I have my signature downloaded, and then I could just pop it in there. But definitely something to look into. Yeah, good question. What other questions do you guys have? Others, I can let you just use this time to get in there and update some SmartPlans, add some SmartPlans. But definitely keep that in mind, like as you go to trainings or as you meet with other agents and you're having great conversations. One thing I often ask them when they're like, oh, I just send them this email and then this happens and then blah, 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 whatever. I'll be like, oh, is that on a SmartPlan? And if they say yes, I'll be like, oh, is it published? Is it something that I could go in and take? And most times people are like, oh no, I don't have it published, but I can publish it. And so they'll go on there and when you're in your own SmartPlan, you can just publish that. Oh, I know one thing I was gonna show you guys. So let's say I wanna create a new SmartPlan. So I create a lot of one-off emails that I'm gonna use over and over and over again. So instead of like having a draft in my Gmail KW account, I just have it set up as a SmartPlan. So let's just create one of those. So if we go to create, let's just say this is going to be my after showing email. So I showed somebody a property. I'm going to send them an email after every showing. And I want to type it every time, right? So I'm going to go and I'm going to create this plan. And I said it was going to be an email, so I'm just going to pop that right in here. And then I'm just going to type whatever text I want here. So we can just be like, hi, whatever. You can do that in the subject line. What about that house? Or whatever you want. But so I use email SmartPlans a lot for different things that I'm going to send to somebody just all the time. And instead of copying and pasting it into an email, and then I got to go find their email in Command, all I have to do is pull up their contact info and then add them to the SmartPlan, and the email goes out to them. So I don't have to think about it. And then after an email, a lot of time I'll create, so let me just say this. I'll also create another task. Let's say I'm going to add 3 days, I don't know why, but, and then I'm going to create another task. And my task is gonna be call this person. So I'm gonna also call them a couple days later if they don't respond via email to me, right? So then if I take somebody and do something where I need to follow up with them, I can be like, oh, I'm just gonna put them on this. It'll send them the email that says everything I want to say because I've already typed it up and I send this to tons of people. And then a couple days later, Command's gonna tell me to call them and ask about that email. So I actually use this a lot in Command for that. And you can also do it through Gmail. It's just probably personal preference. But a lot of times I don't have somebody's email super handy, but I might have them in my Command contacts. So that's one easy way to just leverage your time, right? Where it's like, I don't want to have to find this in my draft or go to my clipboard and then get up the email and I have to type in the subject and I have to do all these extra steps. Instead, I just have to pull them up as a contact, add them to the SmartPlan, and I'm done. So I do utilize SmartPlans like this a lot. I'm just gonna not say that. But yeah, and then let's say like, oh, I don't even want this one. I'm going through, I'm cleaning out my SmartPlans. Just gonna go ahead and delete this one. If you saw in here when I clicked these buttons, publish to library, if you also were like, this plan is so good, and I was just talking to Chris and he was like, can you share that SmartPlan with me? And I'm like, yep, I can. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna publish that. Okay, but I'm just gonna delete this one. So know that this, your SmartPlan library is yours. And so you can do what you want in there. You can add stuff, you can delete stuff. That's another reason why I have myself set up as a contact, because if I just want to try and see like, well, what does this SmartPlan look like? One thing I'm continuing to try and do in Command is make it look more like MailChimp, which is, I don't know, close to impossible yet, but I'm hoping that they're working on it.
So like after showing how like you edited it, and like drag the email over, it says email types over design. So I think it takes you to your design book library where you can create like something that looks like MailChimp.
Yes. It is awesome. It's really close to the capabilities. I haven't been able to get like my boxes to stay where I want them in design, and like the wording sometimes is off. But I know they're working on it. I just haven't been in there now for probably like a month. But when that happens, it is going to be awesome because then you don't have to also pay for MailChimp to make like your newsletters that look great and they have graphics and all this stuff. So I think it's coming, but that will be really awesome. But yeah, to your point too, Jesse, I think it's like really cool that we have these capabilities right in Command to make really great drip campaigns, right? Like that's super awesome. This other, this 66-day challenge is kind of a cool one. It's something published by Marty Miller. So if you just type in his last name, Miller, his name is Marty. He also has a ton of YouTube videos, but he is huge in Command. So his 66-day challenge is actually for agents to do stuff in Command. And so he has you do like one thing every day. And then you kind of get really user savvy within Command. So, but Marty Miller is another really great one. He also has different SmartPlans published for you to send like to your clients. And I'm always I love hearing from other people like, ooh, I just found this other really cool author. So those are fun things to share with other people too, just because you can take it and then just have that template and you can really change it to whatever you want it to be, but to not invent the wheel is huge. So I guess that's all I have for y'all.
Open training room.
Yeah.
Picking up an open house.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So you're all good. Nicole, did you have any questions or all good? Oh, sorry. Here, why can't I get down to the chat? have anything? Okay. All right, well, with that, then we will, go ahead and close up the meeting, but thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I hope it was somewhat helpful.